Chosen One, there are 5 dreams you were given that you thought were just dreams, but they were divine whispers sent while you were asleep. I allowed your conscious mind to rest so your spirit could hear clearly. In the quiet of your slumber, I was speaking loudly, revealing truths that your waking world kept trying to drown out. You didn't imagine those dreams. You encountered me. You felt emotions you couldn't explain, saw people you've never met, and woke up heavy with meanings you couldn't put into words. That wasn't confusion. It was contact. I've been sowing messages into your sleep so that your destiny could not be interrupted by your doubt. What your logic would have rejected, your spirit received whole. Every time you woke up feeling like something shifted, even when you couldn't remember what, it was me completing something in your soul. There were moments you jolted awake with tears, with urgency, with a heaviness that lingered through your day. That wasn't psychological residue, that was divine residue. I placed something eternal in you while you rested. You've been looking for confirmation in the natural, but I gave you downloads in the supernatural. The reason you can't shake some of those dream images is because they weren't symbolic. They were literal moments from your spiritual journey. Some of those dreams were not just insight, they were instructions. You were not just dreaming, you were receiving. There are 5 messages, 5 themes I whispered over you while you were asleep. Not one of them was random, and not one of them was forgotten by me. First, you saw water often, floods, rivers, rain, and thought it meant danger or cleansing, but I was showing you the rising of your anointing. Second, you saw yourself flying or falling. Those weren't metaphors for failure or pride, they were revelations of elevation and fear. Third, you saw people you no longer talk to, showing up in strange scenarios. They weren't just memories, they were warnings. Fourth, you were placed in old places you thought you'd outgrown, but those dreams weren't regression, they were confrontation. And fifth, you saw yourself silent or unable to speak. Those were not nightmares, they were alarms. Your voice is a weapon, and the enemy has tried to paralyze it in your sleep. Each dream was an encrypted message sent from heaven to bypass what your daytime resistance would question. I had to bypass your logic, so I waited until your guard was down. I waited until your spirit could hear without the interference of fear, opinions, or distractions. These dreams weren't scattered, they were sequenced. Each one came like a puzzle piece, and though you didn't know it, your spirit has already begun putting them together. That restless feeling you've had lately is not from anxiety, it's from revelation. I'm waking you to the weight of what you've already been shown. I don't waste visions. I'm not showing you things to entertain you, I'm showing you to align you. You've called them weird, unsettling, or random, but I call them prophetic markers. I allowed those dreams to agitate you, so you wouldn't dismiss them. They weren't meant to make you comfortable, they were meant to convict and commission you. When you saw yourself running, hiding, or being pursued, it wasn't just stress, it was spiritual warfare. The enemy has known who you are in the spirit before you ever did. That's why some dreams ended with you gasping awake. It was a clash between light and darkness over your purpose. But here's the truth. You always woke up. You always came back. And that means the enemy didn't win. Now, Chosen One, I need you to stop brushing these moments off as imagination. You are not being haunted by nonsense. You are being pursued by truth. My truth is persistent because my plan is irreversible. Even if you try to forget these dreams, I will remind you. Even if you try to ignore the messages, I will awaken you again. Because your next assignment is hidden in what I showed you at night. You don't need another prophecy from man. You need to revisit what I've already revealed. Your sleep has been sacred ground. What you saw in those dreams wasn't a warning, it was a window. You are standing on the threshold of decoding what I encrypted. And once you unlock this, your direction will become undeniable. The confusion you felt about what to do next is because you've been overlooking the map I gave you while you slept. You've been trying to hear me while awake. But I've already spoken clearly in the stillness. I didn't choose the dream realm as a gimmick. I chose it because it's where your defense is lower and your true self emerges. And your true self is the one I anointed. I'm not calling the version of you that doubts. I'm calling the one who believes what they saw in the spirit. You will remember the dreams. And once you remember, you'll begin to move. Chosen One, you must understand. Those dreams were not merely visions, they were divine summons. Each one was a conversation I initiated without your permission because your purpose cannot wait for your comfort. When you saw yourself walking through unfamiliar rooms, it was me ushering you into spiritual authority you hadn't yet claimed. Those weren't just locations in your mind, they were levels. The corridors you didn't recognize were the paths I'm about to open. And the doors that wouldn't budge were areas of your calling still locked by fear. But I'm handing you the keys now, and I'm commanding you to return, not in sleep, but in spirit. The enemy has always feared your dreams because he knows that's where I speak without filter. He's tried to taint them with nightmares, distractions, and forgetfulness, but I am the God who redeems even your sleep. I am sanctifying the night again. You will begin to dream clearly, remember fully, and act boldly. No more confusion, no more doubt about whether it was me. I will confirm in daylight what I showed you at midnight. When you dream of rising above danger, it's not escapism, it's elevation. When you fly in dreams, that's me lifting you to see what others miss. I need you above the noise. I need you above the limitation. The winds you felt in those dreams weren't just imagined, they were spiritual turbulence as I carried you from one dimension to another. And though it felt chaotic, you were never out of my hand. You don't need to understand how, you only need to remember that I lifted you. And now, you must respond. You cannot keep living as if those dreams were accidental. They were blueprints. You saw the faces for a reason, felt the urgency for a reason, woke up changed for a reason. I'm not calling you to decode dreams endlessly. I'm calling you to respond. This is your wake-up call, not just from sleep, but from delay. You've lingered too long at the edge of obedience. It's time to move with clarity. Let's lock this in. If this resonates, hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss what else is coming, and comment 55 below. That number seals covenant, fresh alignment, and divine instruction. You've been asking for signs, but I've already been giving you strategies. You've been waiting for confirmation, but the truth is, you've already been commissioned. I spoke while you were asleep because I needed to bypass the parts of you that talk yourself out of obedience, the part that hesitates, the part that analyzes instead of acts, but no more. From this moment forward, you'll move not by analysis, but by revelation. I didn't give you those dreams for inspiration, I gave them for ignition. The reason those dreams won't leave you alone is because they were never meant to. They were not messages to admire. They were instructions to execute. You were shown something that others weren't, because you were assigned something others weren't. Your dreams are sacred briefings from the throne room. They carry instructions, not just insights. And I will hold you accountable, not just for what you've heard while awake, but for what I showed you while asleep. Chosen One, some of your delay is not because you're disobedient, but because you've underestimated how serious those dreams were. You thought they were symbolic, but they were strategic. You thought they were strange, but they were specific. And now I'm reawakening your memory, not just to remember images, but to reclaim instructions. Some of those dreams were warnings, and you've seen them begin to unfold. Others were invitations, and the window is still open. But you must respond. Chosen One, it's time to confront the dreams you've been avoiding. There are some you dismissed because they felt too heavy, too dark, too unsettling to come from me. But I need you to understand. I am not a God who only speaks in light. I speak through storms, I speak in trembling. I speak in dreams that jolt you awake, because what's coming cannot be ignored. Some of your most disturbing dreams were actually the most prophetic. When you dreamt of chaos, of buildings falling, of people fleeing, of things crumbling around you, that wasn't fear, that was forewarning. I showed you systems collapsing because I'm positioning you to lead when others panic. I allowed you to see destruction so you wouldn't be destroyed by it. You weren't watching judgment, you were witnessing transition. And in the dream, even as things fell apart, you were still standing. That wasn't coincidence. That was your calling in plain view. You are not meant to run from the collapse. You are called to stand in the middle of it and release order. The reason you keep dreaming of people you've cut ties with is not nostalgia, it's discernment. Time showing you what's still attached to your destiny and what needs to be permanently released. Some faces are reappearing in your dreams because they represent unclosed doors. Other times, they appear as a final confirmation that the chapter is closed. I will no longer allow you to wake up confused. I'm separating soul ties in the spirit. The people who keep surfacing are not your assignment. They are your test. Pass it. Let them go, even in your sleep. When you saw yourself back in old jobs, homes, schools, or neighborhoods, it wasn't regression. It was me bringing your spirit back to the last place you ignored my instruction. Those were not flashbacks. They were checkpoints. I needed you to finish what you ran from. You thought the dream meant you were slipping, but it meant I'm giving you another chance to reclaim what fear made you forfeit. This is the season of spiritual reclamation. I will not allow purpose to remain buried just because the memory is painful. You will go back, not physically but spiritually, and take back what I put there for you. You must stop ignoring the dreams where your voice is taken. That dream where you tried to speak, shout, or warn, but nothing came out. That was not random. That was a depiction of how long you've been silenced. Whether by trauma, shame, fear, or rejection, the enemy has tried to gag you spiritually. But I'm breaking that off of you now. Your voice will return with authority. You will speak again with clarity, boldness, and fire. No more whispering destiny. Chosen one, I want you to revisit the dreams that scared you, because many of them were visions of your next victory. The enemy attacked you in your sleep, not because you were weak, but because you were close. Close to waking up into authority. Close to moving beyond hesitation. Close to stepping into what I've prepared for you. If it wasn't powerful, he wouldn't have fought you there. If it wasn't real, he wouldn't have worked overtime to erase it from your memory. The dreams were never the problem. Your fear of them was. But now, fear is finished. I'm restoring the gift of spiritual memory. You will begin to recall dreams you forgot years ago. They will return suddenly, vividly, and with detail. You'll wake up in the middle of the night with clarity. I will bring them back, not to torment you, but to empower you. Some of the answers you've been seeking in this season are already locked in the dreams you abandoned. But now, I'm resurrecting revelation. Not through another voice, but through the ones I already gave you while you slept. Chosen one, what I whispered to you in dreams was not a suggestion. It was a summons. Heaven is not casual with revelation. Every scene, every word, every emotion you felt while asleep was permitted because your future requires your cooperation. I don't waste visions. I don't play games with destiny. When I showed you something, it meant there was something I needed you to act on. The dream realm is sacred because it bypasses your resistance. It's where I mark those who can no longer be reached by routine words. You wondered why some dreams felt more real than reality. That's because in many cases they were. Your spirit doesn't sleep like your body does. While you rested, your soul traveled. It stood before thrones. It wrestled principalities. It received blueprints for days you've not yet lived. That's why some mornings feel heavy. It's the weight of what you just walked through in the spirit. And now I'm calling you to carry what you received into your waking life. There are dreams where you saw yourself doing things you've never done. Preaching, building, leading, healing. You chalked it up to imagination, but I need you to know, it was projection. I was showing you what's next. Your future has already been visualized in the supernatural. Your calling is not a question, it's a confirmed appointment. The version of you saw in those dreams already exists in heaven's timeline. Now it's time to bring that version into alignment on earth. Stop calling it a dream when it's actually your destiny. When I gave you glimpses of places you've never been, they weren't fantasy, they were future. Those foreign cities, unfamiliar landscapes, and strange buildings you walked through in sleep weren't fiction. I was planting seeds of vision. There are assignments waiting for you in places your feet haven't touched yet, but your spirit already has. That dream wasn't to make you curious, it was to prepare you. Don't be surprised when life starts placing you in rooms that feel eerily familiar. That's not déjà vu, it's divine alignment. Some of you dreamt of walking with people you didn't recognize. Guides, strangers, or even angels. Pay attention. I send helpers in dreams before I reveal them in life. That wise figure who gave you instructions was not just a character. It was my messenger. You didn't meet them in your head. You met them in the spirit. Watch for those voices in your daily life now. I've already assigned them to your journey. You also need to take seriously the dreams where you were fighting. Whether it was running, battling, resisting shadows, or trying to defend something, I showed you your anointing for warfare. You are not weak, you are a warrior. Even in your sleep, you were swinging spiritual weapons. And even when you woke up exhausted, the truth is, you won. The fact that you're still here proves the dream didn't defeat you. The battle happened because of what you carry. And now it's time to wield that authority consciously. I've watched you dismiss too many of these encounters as coincidence, but I am confronting that doubt now. The things I showed you were not for entertainment, they were assignments. You are being held responsible for revelation. I'm not giving you new insight until you act on what I've already revealed. Dreams are not decorations, they are divine documents. And you, chosen one, are the one I trusted to receive them. It's time to honor them like prophecy. Chosen one. The reason your dreams have intensified lately is because the season has shifted. What once came as subtle whispers is now being shouted with urgency. You are standing in a window of spiritual acceleration, and I cannot let you sleep through it. That restlessness you've been feeling before bed isn't insomnia, it's invitation. I'm stirring your spirit before you close your eyes so that you're aware when I speak. I'm removing distractions, purging your environment and consecrating your rest. Because from this point forward, your dreams will be filled with assignments, and you must begin treating your sleep like sacred ground. There are things I will not reveal to you while you're awake, because too many voices compete for your attention. But in your sleep, I have a direct line. You've noticed how some nights feel weightier than others, how your body sleeps, but your spirit feels awake. That's because I am taking you deeper. The veil is thinner in this season, and those dreams you're about to receive won't be random. They'll be rapid, real, and recurring. This is not a phase, it's a prophetic portal. I'm trusting you with revelation that cannot wait for another time. The visions you receive now will come with more precision. You'll see names, you'll hear sentences, you'll wake up with strategy. I will even begin answering your prayers through the dream realm. You've asked me for direction, and I will speak through your stillness. But with revelation comes responsibility. You cannot wake up and ignore what I show you anymore. Write it down. Pray it through. Act on it when I say move. There are dreams you haven't had yet, but they're coming. You'll see yourself entering new places of authority. You'll dream of deliverance happening through your words. You'll see demonic attacks halted because of your presence. These aren't fantasies. These are previews. I am activating your discernment. I am sharpening your sensitivity. You are not asleep to escape. You are asleep to encounter. Before we go on, take a second. Like the video if this is waking something up in you. Subscribe so you don't miss what I say next. And type 55 in the comments. Your agreement with covenant and divine alignment. Some of you have dismissed your dream life because you were told it wasn't reliable. But I say to you now, I've always used dreams. From Joseph in the prison to Daniel in Babylon, I've given my servants dreams to lead nations, and now I'm doing the same with you. You won't just dream to be inspired, you'll dream to intercede. I'll show you someone in need and call you to pray. I'll reveal what's coming and call you to warn. You are not a passive dreamer, you are a prophetic intercessor. There's a reason the enemy targets your sleep. He knows if he can disrupt your rest, he can interfere with your revelation. That's why the warfare intensifies at night. That's why anxiety hits hardest before bed. But I'm reversing that now. Your bed will become an altar. Your sleep will become strategy. You will no longer dread the night. You will welcome it. Chosen one, your spiritual downloads are increasing because your calling cannot wait. I am imparting things in dreams that sermons can't reach. There are prayers you didn't know how to pray, but I gave you the answers while you slept. This is not theory. This is divine transaction. What you receive at night must be obeyed by day. This is your edge, this is your assignment, and this is your moment to awaken. Chosen one, there are certain dreams you thought were insignificant simply because they were silent. No voice spoke, no angel appeared, just images, feelings, and scenes you couldn't understand. But silence does not mean absence. I was speaking even in the stillness. I was guiding even in the simplicity. Some of your most powerful instructions came not with sound but with weight. And what you couldn't explain, your spirit already interpreted. You woke up from some of those dreams feeling peace, but not knowing why. That peace was the confirmation. I resolved something in your sleep that you'd been wrestling with during the day. You didn't hear a voice, but you felt the answer. You didn't see a scripture, but you received direction. I've been using your dreams to finalize decisions you've been afraid to make. I've been clearing pathways in your spirit before you even knew they existed. Don't wait for dramatic symbols to take me seriously. Start discerning my subtlety. You also need to recognize the dreams that repeat. They are not loops, they are reminders. Each time you dream it again, it's because there's a layer you haven't acted on. Recurrence is not punishment, it's persistence. I'm not letting you forget what I showed you because it's still active. It still matters. And until you obey, it will return. There's a reason some of your dreams seem to fade as soon as you wake. It's not because you're forgetful. It's because spiritual truths fade quickly when not honored. I need you to stop treating your dreams like suggestions. Get up and write them down. Get up and steward what you saw. When you honor revelation, I release more. But when you ignore it, it dims. The more you value the whispers, the louder they'll become. Chosen one, this is the hour where your recall will begin to sharpen. What once seemed foggy will now flash clearly. You'll be walking through your day and suddenly remember a detail from a dream last month. That's not memory, that's activation. I'm bringing back the pieces you thought were lost, because now you're ready to act on them. What I gave you then is now for this moment. You must prepare for dreams that come with warfare. Not every dream will feel peaceful. Some will come with intensity, urgency, even pressure. That is not to scare you, it is to equip you. I'm showing you what needs to be broken. I'm waking you to battles you didn't know were happening, and I'm giving you the spiritual tools to win. There are prophetic dreams coming that will confirm your next move. They won't just hint, they'll highlight. You'll see exactly what I want you to do, who to talk to, where to go, what to start, and what to stop. This won't be vague, it will be undeniable. And when it comes, don't delay. Chosen one, you've come this far because I've led you, not by chance, but by divine detail. Every dream you thought was a coincidence was actually a course correction. I was realigning your path while you slept. I was reminding you of who you really are. You've allowed fear, shame, and delay to mute the urgency of what you saw, but no more. The dreams were never optional, they were directives. And now it's time to walk out what you've already been shown. There's an anointing on your dream life that others don't carry. That's why your sleep has always felt different. That's why even as a child, you saw things others didn't. You weren't being dramatic, you were being drafted. And even when you tried to forget, I never stopped speaking. Your sensitivity is not a curse, it's a calling. What others call imagination, I call insight. And I gave it to you because your future depends on it. Your next level will not come from what you hear externally. It will come from what I whisper internally. Don't chase prophetic voices while ignoring the ones I gave you in dreams. I speak through pastors and teachers, yes, but I also speak through the stillness of midnight. Your dreams are not a backup plan. They are frontline revelation. You've already received more from me than you realize. Now it's time to unpack it. Stop waiting for clarity that's already been given. When you begin waking up with vision, don't second guess it. Don't delay by asking for another sign. I am the sign. The very fact that I trust you with this level of communication means I've already confirmed your readiness. I'm not asking for perfection. I'm asking for partnership. What I showed you, I want to walk with you through. I'm not sending you alone. I'm going ahead of you, even as I awaken what's been lying dormant inside of you. Let's lock this in together. Tap that like button if this stirred something in your spirit. Subscribe to the channel. We're going deeper into what God is unfolding. Drop 55 in the comments. It's the number of covenant, new beginnings, and divine alignment. You've received dreams about people, places, and events that didn't make sense yet, but they will. I don't waste dreams. Some of them are delayed, not denied. You'll soon walk into moments that match what you saw while sleeping. And when it happens, you won't be surprised. You'll be ready. This is not prediction, this is preparation, and you are the vessel I'm preparing. Chosen one, you need to start praying before you sleep. Invite my presence intentionally into your rest. Watch how quickly the atmosphere shifts. Watch how your dreams begin to carry instruction and power. I'm not waiting for a preacher to reach you. I'm speaking directly. And every night you surrender to me, I'll take you deeper into the assignment. No more wasted nights. No more missed instructions. Your dreams have been the proof that I've been with you all along. Through every delay, every betrayal, every false start, I've kept showing up at night because I knew your day was coming. And now, it's here. You're not just waking from sleep. You're awakening into purpose. Chosen one. You are not who you used to be. The moment you started paying attention to your dreams, the moment you began listening again, something shifted. You've been entrusted with mysteries not because you asked for them, but because you were chosen to carry them. This is a sacred weight, and it's time you treated it as such. I don't show dreams to entertain. I reveal them to empower. Everything I've whispered while you were asleep was heaven's strategy for your assignment. You didn't dream randomly. You were receiving intentionally. And now the waking version of you must honor the one I anointed at midnight. Your life is about to intersect with what I've already shown you in your sleep. Doors will open that look like dreams you nearly forgot. Faces will appear that I already revealed to you before you met them. Environments will feel familiar because your spirit walked through them long before your body arrived. That's not memory, it's manifestation. The alignment you've been praying for has already been set into motion. You don't need to ask me for what I've already answered. You only need to recognize it when it arrives. From now on, sleep will no longer be an escape. It will be encounter. I will meet you in your rest. I will reveal what's next without warning. I will give you images so vivid they leave you breathless. I will assign you to people through dreams, and you will know exactly what to pray. You will wake up not confused, but convicted. You will feel my voice like fire in your bones, and the more you respond, the more clearly I will speak. You were not asleep by accident. You were positioned on purpose. I protected your spirit while your body rested so I could deposit vision that nothing else could distort. And now, you're ready to carry what I gave you, with boldness, with precision, with obedience. No more delay. The dreams weren't warnings of what might happen. They were glimpses of what will. And now that you're awake, nothing will be the same.